Hey guys, this is Gossamer. I haven't made a video in a really long time, so I figured it was about time. I think Traverse got me excited about making videos again. Usually, you need to have a good topic to make a video about too. And today I have a really good one. We are about ready to launch a new program that's going to be designed to assist storytellers in doing their jobs. We have a fairly big problem on Mizahar, and that is that we have way more players than we have storytellers, and the problem is only getting worse. One of the big bones of contention of people not wanting to join the staff is that they're worried that they're always going to have to be grading. And I can tell you from experience that grading takes a lot of time. Yet, if you've just completed a thread and it's the best feeling in the world when you get a really good grade for it. And I hate to call it a grade because you're not really being judged. You're just getting awarded for hard work. And that award adds to your character, which adds to your character's strengths by XP points. And the more XP you have, the better your character is at something. So it's just kind of a win-win situation all around. And a lot of people want their stuff graded. The problem is you might have, well, in Sileris's case, you might have a couple hundred people in one domain and one person or one or two people doing all the grading. And there's no way those storytellers can keep up. And there's no way they can grade everything with any kind of alacrity at all. So we have to do something about that. And we thought long and hard. We've thought about maybe letting players assign their own grades, but you know how well that would work out. And what we did come up with is maybe letting players who are trusted, who's been around a long time, maybe people who are ex-storytellers that don't have time to be like a full AS or full DS or, volunteer in some way on staff, join the team and help out and maybe kick some of this grading down. I mean, we have places that don't have any storytellers that people are trying to get things graded. We have places that have storytellers that barely log on, that have backlogs that are 2-3 months long. And then when they do grade, players get upset because it's obvious by these grades that they're getting that people aren't maybe clearly reading the threads. They're not sorry, I'm really tired. They're not awarding lore correctly. Storytellers aren't always, some of them are really good graders, some of them are just, I gotta do it, so I'm doing it. So we're trying to change that. We're trying to get players that have a lot of free time. We're trying to get some of these people, again, that's a dog wrestling around back there. We're trying to get some of these people that hang out and chat who are qualified to be good graders to maybe be able to go through and grade some threads and make some awards. So in light of that situation, the staff got together as an entirety and wrote a player's guide to grading. It is probably by far the most comprehensive guide we've seen so far in terms of grading. It's not only a how-to guide, it's a what guide, it's a scenario guide, it has a lot of different factors to it. And I have to give huge props to Magpie, because Magpie was the one that organized the whole thing. She wrote up the guide, and she tackled it section by section and led the discussion in the staff lounge on what's what. We had a million different questions about magic. We had, situations where we had to point out that, like, there's no XP for daggers and then throwing daggers. It's all under daggers. That kind of stuff that we come across time in and time out. So she also did like a really big comprehensive section on lore. I mean, you'll be able to read it. We're going to put it in the wiki. It's going in just as soon as I can sit down and get that in. And once that's in, then we're going to open up the help desk for people who want to grade to apply to be a grader. Now, what's going to happen when you apply to be a grader is you're going to have some criteria that you're going to need to meet. Like, you're going to have a certain amount of posts, you're going to have a certain amount of time on the site, you're going to have a recommendation by a staff member. It's a lot of the same sort of stuff that you need to be a storyteller, but the only difference is there's no time commitment, and once you're a grader, you can grade anywhere in the game. You don't have to be stuck at a specific domain. So if there's like a call that goes out, you know, say Silyris has like 15 pages and really needs some help, we might do a call out and have some people pick and choose, you know, and do some threads and knock some of those out. So, and in order to do that, we're going to have to make some organizational changes. And what those changes are going to consist of is every domain is going to have to go to a centralized grade request thread. So that when people grade, the one rule that we're going to have them follow is that they are going to grade in order of the requests coming in. So what you're going to need to do is click on the link that the player posts, make sure that nobody else has graded it, and then go back and start grading. We're going to have people put a placeholder saying that this thread is currently being graded in the thread, so that if people are actually grading and reading a thread, somebody doesn't go through and grade it while they're reading and grading, and we get double grading. So the first thing you're going to do before you even start grading is put a placeholder on the thread saying that you are grading currently. So that means if somebody else comes along and looks at the thread, they know that you've got it, you're working on it. So that's going to be a change. And we only want people to put placeholders. I got an itch. I got a hair down my back. Don't you hate that? That's what happens when you have long hair. Anyways, we're going to only have people put placeholders when they're actually sitting down to do the grade. So none of this grading, saving up, and then posting all at once like months later. Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. And so once that's done, then a storyteller can come back through, check the thread, and clean it out. Delete the threads that have been graded, that kind of stuff. We're going to ask the players, once their threads are graded, to delete their posts in the grade request threads and just put, you know, issue graded or thread resolved or something like that in their post, so they know that, and remove the link. So the storytellers can come back and clean up the threads. So in order to become a grader, you need to be very familiar with Mizahar and its rules. And you need to have read the grading guide, and you need to pass a 10-question true or false exam on the grading guide. And we will throw some trick questions at you. The grading exams will each be different. The storytellers are currently coming up with a thread. We have a thread where we're coming up with all different sorts of questions, plus the answers, so we can do these little true-false questions. We're going to see how this works. We're not going to have the same test, so you can't go to your buddy. You know, John Smith can't go to Jane Smith and go, hey, what was your test? What did you do on it? You know, it's not going to be a group effort. It's going to be just a true fault in the help desk. You know, you do your test, and if you get 80%, you can become a grader. As long as you have the recommendations and there's no outstanding issues, like behavioral issues. You know, if you were a badass punk when you first started the site, and you've since done better, then, you know, you'll be allowed to grade. But it's a great way for people who don't have the time to storytell to actually help out with the site, and help out in a big way. And the other thing it's going to do is it's going to free storytellers up a little bit so that they can do some more writing. Because the whole point of being a storyteller is you get to tell stories, you get to do development, you get to run your domain. And it's a lot of fun. It's really good character building. It's a really good experience for things that you're going to have to do in life. But you really need to be able to have free time to do these other things and not have to grade all the time. So anyways, that's the grader program. I'm going to try to have it announced either Saturday or Sunday, so you guys can go ahead and talk about it amongst yourselves. And if anybody's interested, let me know via the help desk. Once the post goes up in the News Around the Campfire, there will be an application for a grader. And once you get approved, you'll be given a little grader medal in your character sheet, so people know you're approved to grade. And I think the only other criteria is that you have to actively grade like so many threads a month to be able to stay a grader. So And it won't be like anything harsh. You won't have to do like 30 grades a month or anything like that. It'll be like 2 or 3 or 4 or something like that. But hopefully if you volunteer, you'll at least do 2 or 3 a week. You know, even if they're short, do more than that. Hopefully people will step up and help clean out some of these grading threads so that the game as a whole can move along smoother. So yeah, that's mainly what I wanted to talk about in this video. I'll have more videos coming. I'm gonna have one on Kinosh, so we're gonna have to have some big changes there. Not big changes, but I'm gonna go forward with the quest. I was waiting for one of our MIA people to return, and now it seems like they're not gonna be back because of life getting in the way. So it's a little bit of sad news. I think Banacle, well, I'll let him tell you because I've asked him to like just make an announcement himself. But he's got some stuff going on in life, and I don't think he's going to continue to AS. So, and I don't think he's going to have a lot of time for his characters for a while. So that's my main wait for Kinosh. So now that I know he's not going to be back, I can go ahead and run the quest. So I think the Dynasty brats and the slaves involved, and everybody who was at one of the originals from the city will really enjoy being able to jump on that. And then we've got some stuff for Riverfall going on. I'm excited about some of the stuff I'm doing with my character this season. Yeah, just what can I say? Mizahar is fun. It's a lot of fun. I know we get bogged down on a day-by-day basis saying, you know, oh, there's so much work, the help desk is full, my PMs are full, grumble, 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 and they always are. The help desk will never not be full. It's funny, the minute we had regional storytellers allowed access to the help desk tickets took a nosedive. And now they're back up to full strength. So I think the regional storytellers are getting a big ol' first-hand howdy-doody on what the help desk is like. You can clean it out, and like a day later it's just a page and a half again, which I think is what it's setting at right now. So it's about time for me to go to bed. I've just been way too at work too much lately. And let's see, is there anything else I wanted to say? I'm trying to remember. I don't think so. Well, if there is, I'll make another video. But anyways, that's the grader program. And hopefully if you have time and some know-how, you will be more than fine to jump on the grading bandwagon. So I know it'll help out the game a lot. I mean, most of us don't have any money to donate, and most of us don't have a super huge amount of time to do development and stuff, but everybody can just, in their spare time, read a thread and grade it, especially if you have a guide on what to do and how to grade it. So that should help enormously. And it'll also help, the guide especially will help standardize moderators game-wide on what they're awarding. So anyways, I look forward to seeing who wants to apply. And hopefully everybody will, and because if we have everybody as a grader, then we will be able to keep up on this monstrous task far more easily than we are right now with just our small staff of storytellers. So, okay, well everybody have a good night, and I'll see y'all Friday morning. It's almost the weekend. Bye.